Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. So we've had this AMG GLE 43 now for 7 months, and I figured it was time for me to go over some pros and cons about the vehicle here, give it a little bit of a 7-month review, and go over the last oil change that we had on it. So we had an oil change on this, I believe, 2 weeks ago now. Took it for its first oil change. It was about 5,000 miles, and for me, you know, it says every 10,000 miles from Mercedes-Benz, but I like to go every 5,000 just to keep things safe. And the upkeep and cost here, I guess, isn't the biggest deal when you're dealing with this car. So first thing I want to touch on is what they went over with the oil change. So they looked over everything. Tire alignment, that was something that they recommended, although I think this is driving just fine. We did the oil change. The valve covers needed to be replaced. So that was something that is going to cost around $1,500. The valve cover, the seals needed to be rebuilt, basically. So that was something that was going to be very costly. And I don't have the sheet in front of me here. I'm trying to think. You could actually see where the valve covers are. There's 2 of them that need to be rebuilt, more on the top part of the engine. So those, the timing chain valve covers, those needed to be replaced. It was a fair amount of oil that was leaking out of there. And as winter progresses here, it's only August, but as winter progresses here with the vehicle, it is going to leak a little bit more. So with that being said, we just have to make another appointment for that and get that fixed. Along with that, they recommended that at the 60,000 mile mark, which we're almost at, we're at about 58,000 miles, that the transmission be flushed and the rear differential be looked at as well. So those are 2 things that we got to keep in the back of our mind here. Not totally worried about that right now with the 43, but that timing chain valve cover, that needs to be assessed and done, I would say by October. So that's something that I asked my buddy who's a mechanic to do, but he didn't really feel comfortable doing that. So we'll get that done at the dealer and hopefully have a little bit of comfort knowing that the dealer will be able to do that. So those are just some things here. I wish that would have been an issue when the dealership we bought it from was looking at it, but of course that had been sitting since last September of 2023, and it had been sitting until January, later January of 2024. So that is an issue that could have sprung up just from lot rot, just from sitting on the lot for that long. So essentially that's one issue, a bigger issue that has come up with this car. Otherwise, they said everything else looked fine with it here, which is a good thing. We very much like this car. The 7 months have been flawless with it. We've driven through snow, we've driven through ice. I've towed my huge ski boat, 21-foot Sport Nautique with this, which weighs about 5,000 pounds. This vehicle towed it like a champ. So it's really done everything that we've asked it to do, and it's been comfortable, and we don't mind. When we bought this vehicle, being a 2017, and my girlfriend and I are both younger people, the price was really good. It was $28,000 for this vehicle with 50,000 miles on it. So it was a really good deal. Our Dodge Journey that we had before was just costing us an arm and a leg, sticking money into it, and it's like, okay, listen, yes, the payment was really, really low on that. And the payment on this is about $600 a month. But I asked her, I said, since she's paying for the vehicle, I said, is this a vehicle, the next vehicle you get, you don't want the car to own you, you want to own the car. So that's the first thing. Are you going to be able to afford this vehicle with insurance and payment? And yes, that's not a problem. Next, do you mind sticking money into this car? That's the other thing. And that's why we didn't go with originally we wanted a Durango RT Tow and Go, but those were just out of the price range for us, especially being younger. So that was out of the question. Next was essentially this. this was it, either a GLC 43 or a GLE 43. And we test drove this GLE 43 and we loved it so much because A, it can tow 7,200 pounds, B, which we need occasionally if I don't have my truck, and B, it's very fun to drive for a huge SUV that weighs 5,000 pounds, and C, it's very, very safe. She prioritized safety over my fun to drive aspect of it. I mean, this car is just a blast to drive with the V6, with the 3-liter V6. It's all AMG enhanced, transmission, engine, everything. It's pretty fast. It's very fun. And that's what I liked about it. So when I'm driving it like this, I can have fun in driving the vehicle, enjoying it. So essentially getting back to the route, she does not mind putting money into this vehicle because it is, I would say, a pretty rare vehicle. I have only seen one of these on the road ever, and it was parked at a country club. So for us, you know, living in a rural area, we wanted that flair. Not that anybody in a rural area is going to know what the hell this is, but we wanted to be a little different and stand out from the pack, and also have a vehicle that was fun to drive. So this GLE hit the nail on the head. And I asked her, I said, do you mind putting money into the vehicle in case issues arise? And she said, no, she doesn't, because of the comfort factor, because of the safety factor, and the fun to drive factor of the vehicle. So this vehicle fit our needs well, and honestly, over the 7 months, it's been flawless for us. It's been extremely fun to drive for, again, being a 5,000 pound vehicle, just a massive vehicle. And it's very comfortable. The seats are great. The AMG drive system in here with Sport Plus is great. The one thing, you know, it's not very fuel efficient. That was one thing when we were looking at a Durango and this. Both of them are not going to be fuel efficient, and she knew that going into it. But yeah, it's really been a flawless vehicle over the 7 months that we've owned it. And as it's raining out right now, having such a heavy vehicle with General G-Max tires on right now, it feels very safe. It doesn't feel wallowy. You know, when you're going through crappy roads like this right here with ruts in the road going 60, you know, you don't get any of that hydroplaning, which honestly I get a little bit in my truck because my truck weighs about the same weight as my Ram truck does. So at the end of the day, we've been very happy with the vehicle. Very happy that we bought it, and would definitely recommend anybody looking at this vehicle to purchase it, especially if you find one with the right price. Now, you know, yes, being a 2017, the electronics are older in it, but frankly, I had an E550 for a little while, and it's very similar to that. A 2011 E550, very similar to that. I enjoyed that a lot. I like this interface. Yes, it's not touchscreen, but for somebody like me who's completely OCD about their vehicles, like cleanliness, outside, inside, like this rain is just eating me up right now. I like the fact that it's not a touchscreen because you don't get all those boogery, icky, greasy hand marks all over the place. Everything is analog in here. You've got analog controls for everything. And I appreciate that, especially in a today world where everything is on screens. It's just disgusting how everything is going to screens. I wanted analog. I like my vehicles analog. So this definitely pleased me very well with that aspect. Other than that, the vehicle has been great. There really hasn't been any problems with it. Towing is great. Like I said, snow and ice has been really good. Gas usage, not great. And we just had that one little issue with the timing chain valve cover, and we will get that fixed. That'll be about $1,500, which it is what it is. You can't, you know, it's a risk that you have to take when you buy a vehicle used. So other than that, we'll take a look at the outside here if it's done raining here shortly, and that's held up well. But just to give you a look at what this car looks like, and mind you, this GLE 43 is not the coupe-ified version. I hate coupe-ified versions of SUVs, like the GLC or the GLE, the coupe-ified versions of those. It's just a disgrace of what an SUV is. Like, those are such pointless vehicles. Those are Me Too vehicles. So having the old standby of of the GLE SUV in a big package here is great. So with that being said, guys, let's take a look at the outside and wrap this video up. So taking a look at the outside here, guys, it's, as you can see, it's raining pretty heavily, but the exterior of this is actually aged very well for being on the old ML chassis, or the ML design. And you know, it's a nice machine. You've got your front camera here, you've got the awesome engine. I'd open it up, but of course it's raining, and in this obsidian black color, it really looks, with the AMG, the night appearance package, it really looks nice. So again, guys, this is just a 7-month review of our AMG GLE 43. So if you guys like this type of content, like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.